Okay, everybody, thanks for joining. I think we will give 1 or 2 more minutes for more people to join, and then we will start our peer-to-peer. We are very excited and looking forward to our exchange. Thanks. See you soon. Great. I think we're ready to start. Thanks everyone again for joining today's peer-to-peer. Um, we are happy to welcome to our peer-to-peer session on the resilience and urban energy systems. My name is Bart Rama, and I'm from ICLI Europe. Excited to be your moderator today, together with my colleagues Alina and Ines. We are delighted to welcome you to our peer-to-peer as part of the UTMC project. In a world facing escalating climate impacts, geopolitical shifts, and rapid urbanization, the resilience of our urban systems has become paramount. This session is designed to be an insightful exchange drawing on the new guidance and real-world city experiences. Before we dive in, let me quickly walk you through today's agenda. First, I'll provide a brief introduction to our new Resilient Urban Energy Systems upcoming guide and share some key reflections on its purpose and content. We'll then hear insights directly from the city of Quito with Jefferson Vallejo Operations Management Self-Generating Energy Systems, sharing their experiences on building energy resilience. Following that, we will have a pre-recorded segment by Tomo Anoi, director from the Global Partnerships Strategic Planning Division, on the experiences from the city of Yokohama, offering another valuable perspective. We'll then have a quick exchange on Mentimeter, where you all will have a chance to provide your feedback. After that, we will have an open floor and dedicated Q&A session. So please do keep your questions in mind and maybe even start sending them via chat as the presentations start unfolding. And finally, I'll have some concluding remarks. Great. Now then, I will quickly introduce the upcoming Resilience Urban Energy Systems Guide. Let's begin by understanding why this guide is so timely and essential. Cities are on the front lines of the escalating extreme weather events and other major disruptions, as evidenced by 2024 Valencia floods and 2025 Iberian power outage. Our urban systems are incredibly interconnected. A shock to one, like energy, rapidly impacts others. Threats extend beyond climate, encompassing aging infrastructure, cyber attacks, and geopolitical instability. As cities pursue climate neutrality, our increasing reliance on electricity demand as far more robust and adaptable energy grid. So, how does this guide help you? It is designed as practical implementation tool for cities developed by experts and based on real-world experiences. It provides clear definitions of urban energy resilience. It outlines key characteristics of resilient energy systems, covering diversity and decentralization, flexibility and robustness, real-time insights, and integrated governance. Crucially, it includes real-world examples from cities like Utrecht, Puerto Rico, Australia, illustrating these principles in action. This guide is an essential instrument to help your city not only cope with current and future challenges, but also to thrive on its journey towards climate neutrality. We believe it offers a valuable resource for all of you. And I think with that, I am ready and happy to hand it over to our colleagues from Quito. We are fortunate today to have Jefferson Vallejo from the city of Quito, who will share their city's valuable experiences and approaches to building energy systems resilience. Jefferson, the floor is yours.
Hello. First of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here and to share with you some of our little experience in this kind of systems, and to share you about the work we have in the EPMAPS company. Well, majorly the energy from the main focus of our company is the water supply. So our company has a large history in this city, in Quito City, and we started to take advantage of the energy generation systems from 1990 with our first energy plant called Recuperadora, which is the largest one we have already. And then we have the Carmen that is our second biggest plant, a generating plant, who started in the 2000. The the water energy resilience we have focused this because we started with our self autosufficiency in power generating, because our generation covers at least 80% of its own of ours demand through our hydropower plants. They already said Carmen and Recuperadora. For do this, we had to look for the high pressure points in our water pipe systems, and we can take advantage of this, because some of these points we used to install this drop pressure tanks, and now we take advantage of this pressure to generate energy, and we can keep the flow of the water for water supply. This is in the 2024 outage. We have had a really big impact with the energy supply, because we couldn't treat the water. We in some points it would affected the pumping too. So, but in this case, we could still have permanently water supply for our city. In this case, we analyze these cases, and and we think about some opportunities to take advantage of. Could you please the next one, please? Okay. Some of the threats and challenges we have as a water company is that we cannot we have to ensure that always has to be a water supply for our citizens. As I already said, the main focus of our company is the water supply, not the power supply. But we have the compromise to keep the energy system up in these scenarios. We have to we have to ensure the water quality. We have to ensure that the water supply and that the shortages don't affect the water supply during the prolonged blackouts. And in these cases, that's why we have our own auto-generating plants. Another challenge is the climatic events, the droughts that lower the hydropower output. In this case, as I started commenting, is that we have our own water intakes. That obviously there is not the same as the power generating water intakes. So we use this intakes and the whole system, our own infrastructure to generate this power. And the final point is that is not the challenge. That is the main objective is the water service. It prioritizes over the power generation. There is another challenge that this is not a real challenge. It is a real limitation, maybe, because we have to interview the water pipelines, and we have to ensure that we have a free way to water to flow, because that's why we used to install all these systems in the main or in the bypass we generate, so the water always have a free way to flow in cases of we have to prioritize the water supply instead of the power supply. The next, please. EMAPS has already two biggest power plants that called Recuperadora and Carmen, starting in 19 and the 20s, with a capacity of 14.7 and 8.3 respectively. These two plants are in our system of how you say, self-sufficiency energy power system. It means that all our demand, at least 80% of our demand, is compensated with this generation. In the case of the Chalpi and Noroccident and Carcelen, we use this generation and only for commercial purposes. We sell all these generations, and it has profits for us and some benefits. In the case of Carcelen, it's a very interesting case because the micro Carcelen was the first plant using drinkable water in pipelines. The challenge here was very important because when you use a normal water pipeline, we could not take in mind the quality of the water, because after this we have a purification plant. So we can clean the water after the water turbine. But in Carcelén, we already use the water that is ready to drink. So we had to use some kind of materials that are not toxic in contact with water. For example, the oils that we use, we could not use oil instead. At least is food grade oil, and it was a great opportunity to learn because we also can use these lanes from the intakes, the distribution, and this and this is with raw water and the clean water. We can use all our infrastructure, and we are just limited with the high pressure zones that we have to find. The next, please. Our future hydropower opportunities. Well, as EBMAPs, we have as I already said, we have some high pressure zones or points in our pipelines that we can take advantage of because of the difference of level in the terrain. Now we have this as opportunity that we have that we are already exploring, and I'm going to talk about these projects, but we have already four to six power generating projects that we are developing. We already have the designs of these projects and they are going to be part of our self-sufficiency energy power systems. And this is the main focus now in hydropower opportunities that have the EMAPS has. Please, the next one. Also, we have think about the photovoltaic opportunities we have in some of our instances. We have some rooftops of office blocks suitable for solar photovoltaic. These are there's not large blocks, there are not very large areas, physic areas, as a solid, I mean, and flats, because we are a very big company, we have little blocks of our stations or plants, and we cannot cover that much, and also it has not very good efficiency, but we can use it as a self-consumed energy, and the remaining we can also sell and to interconnect with the distribution system of Empresa Eléctrica Quito. We also have think about the floating PV on reservoirs. We have a case analysis case that is in the MICA. That is our latest water intake we have, and of course we could think about a floating PV system because of the water we can use, we can have increased efficiency by 10 to 20%, thanks for the cooling modules that we use there. It has to be a little bit large analysis we need, but it's an opportunity that we can think about. Please, then the next one. Okay. What is our business model on financing? First of all, we have our energy self-sufficiency that I already explained. It lower our cost for our demand, and in some cases, it generates some profits, some accidents in generation. We can still sell when the demand is lower than the power energy. We can sell this to the electricity market in Ecuador, and if it's not enough, we can still compensate our the much as we can our demand, and we can still buy some of the in the distribution system. We are creating these projects that I already explained in order to compensate this gap that we have. That eventually we are going to have much more energy uh, generation than demand. That's why we can surplus energy that can be sold to the national interconnected system, revenue from energy sales. Also, as we have so many opportunities to implement the systems in very small kind of small pipelines, we can generate micro hydroelectric power systems or mini systems that are less than 1 megabyte projects that we have in Ecuador as a distributed generation plants projects. We have this four projects that we have are in this model of developing. The next, please. The stakeholders and engagement that we have in this case is that principal maps. We have the main operation division of these projects, and we have plenty participation in this because we have to have knowledge in hydraulic and energy data, operation and maintenance of hydroelectric plants, and we have to have capacitation of how to work with this because as as a water drinkable water company, we need to expand our experience in these areas. So this is a very unique opportunity to us to keep exploring these opportunities. Empresa Eléctrica Quito, they are in most of the cases inside the Quito city, they have the restriction and we have to generate they have to generate authorizations and we have to ask for the interconnections of their distribution system. So they are also a main participant in this, and the first and we can use their systems to apart to ensure to strengthen the energy system, and we can give all our energy that is generated. For in the case of solar facilities and the permits for that, we have the Ministry of Environment and some other departments in Quito that we have to talk with, because in some cases, as I already said, is not it's not the area that we have, but the compromise and the self consumption, energy consumption that we could use in these particular not very big areas that we have, but we can still take advantage of this for our office and some other installations. In academies and the universities that we have, technical universities, Escuela Politécnica Nacional or USFQ, we can support and take how to model in this hydroelectric plants model, and we can share some information that we have with these laboratories that they have in these universities, and also we have a deep participation in these new projects. And finally, the community, because the community somehow they take us to the advantage of the use of the terrain, the use of the nature that they have in some spaces, and they could participate in the co-management of rural microgrids and micro power system generation. The next one, please. Okay. The next steps that we have are two main steps that we are already into this, the implement of new hydroelectric projects. Our four electric projects are in two of them in Papayacta zone, that is where locates our biggest water intakes. It's called the Tuminguina and the Kiyuksha projects. And we have another in the DMQ zone that are Payares and there's also Bellavista. All this energy reaches the 3.4 megawatts projected potential, and we are already in mind to construct to build these projects in the 2000 start in 2006 26. The other step that we have in mind is the floating PV study in reservoirs as Mika, that has actually a potential of 4 megawatts peak, and that we have to analyze, but it has a very, very important potential for generation. And I think it's all, yep, that's all. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm glad to hear.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jefferson, for those incredibly insightful examples and lessons from City of Quito. It's inspiring to see the practical application on of these principles and all the work that you've done so far. We will have the questions, but we before we do that, we will play the Yokohama City video recording, and then we go to the Mentimeter, and then only after that we open the floor for the questions, and that's where we will have a chance to hear more from you, and I think we will get also the chance to ask more questions about the city of Quito. All right, let's go with the pre-recorded presentation from the city of Yokohama. This allows us to hear from the city's unique challenges and solutions in the realm of urban energy resilience. Let's go with the recording. Alina or Jeff.
Hello everyone. My name is Tomoan Yoji. I'm Director of Zero Carbon at City of Yokohama. I'd like to thank Alina and everyone at ICRE for the opportunity to share this presentation. Today, I'm here to talk to you about our 3 steps for decarbonization. In my presentation, I'll focus on saving energy, renewable electricity, and other sources of energy. Before I begin, I'd like to share the current situation in Japan. Japan's self-sufficiency rate is 12.6%, which is low compared to other OECD countries. We depend on fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas from overseas. However, the Japanese government is hard at work promoting sustainable energy supply, economic growth, and decarbonization at the same time, with the goal of becoming net zero by 2050. To start with, let me give you an overview of Yokohama. There is a lot to say about the city, but here I will just say the population is approximately 3.7 million. It is the largest city in Japan and therefore responsible for leading as a city toward decarbonization. Yokohama has a target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by half by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2050, and at the same time transition to circular economy. In developing the city's decarbonization policies, we have 4 pillars. 1. Empowering citizens. 2. Empowering businesses. 3. Implementing innovative technology. And 4. Local government's own actions. The main focus of this presentation is our strategy for decarbonizing, which has three steps. The first is to reduce the total amount of energy used. The second is to use renewable electricity. The third is to decarbonize energy sources other than electricity. In other words, the uses of hydrogen, ammonia, and methane. In general, urban areas have limited potential for renewable energy generation. The potential for renewable energy generation in Yokohama is low, estimated to be about 10% of the city electricity consumption in 2050. First, I will talk about energy saving. The energy consumption of Yokohama is targeted to be reduced by 34% in 2030 compared to 2013. 2022 saw a reduction of 19%. We achieved this through LED lighting, solar panels, and energy-saving machinery. Next, I will talk about renewable electricity. A good example of this is Minato Mirai 21, a unique net zero urban area model. Minato Mirai 21 is a central business district in Yokohama, with about 200 hectares and 140,000 working people. It accounts for 10% of the business sector's energy consumption in the city. As part of our strategy, we have installed solar panels on roads and on the water. We are also partnering with 1. District heating provider, 2. Construction companies for net zero buildings, and 3. Other cities for renewable energy. In the map of Japan on the right, the red areas are urban areas with low potential for renewable electricity. The blue areas are suburban areas with relatively high potential. Yokohama has partnership agreement with 17 municipalities and is obtaining electricity generated in those regions through private companies. To benefit residents in those areas, a portion of money from their electricity bill is returned to the local community. Also, local products are showcased as exhibits in Yokohama where the electricity is used. That is a photo shown on the left. We are accelerating the installation of solar power generation in public facilities. We are also actively using power purchase agreements. A PPA is a system in which a solar power generation system is installed in a public building and maintained by a private company. The electricity generated is consumed on-site or used in other public facilities. The city pays for only the power generated, not the installation fee or maintenance costs. It's a win-win. Last, I will talk about decarbonization of non-electric power. In collaboration with other companies, we have succeeded in methanation to produce methane, the main components of city gas, by using CO2 generated during initiation, recycled water from sewage treatment plants, and the digestion gas. This concludes my presentation, but I have one last thing I'd like to share with you. Japan is currently seeing a great deal of excitement over the Osaka Expo, and in 2027, Yokohama will host a world-class expo. This expo will be held from March through September 2027 and expect 10 million participants. We will introduce many amazing solutions for a decarbonized society. We look forward to seeing you there. In closing, Yokohama will continue to work together with other cities around the world. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye.
Great. Big thank you to City of Yokohama for sharing their experiences. It's clear that cities globally are finding innovative solutions, ways to enhance their energy systems resilience. We've kind of gone through the video recording and picked a few aspects of their energy resilience from what was presented. And it's clear that there are many of those. And kind of wanted to share with everyone what my kind of understanding of the what the Yokohama has done, for example, on diverse energy mix, integrating hydrogen, ammonia, and synthetic methane to reduce reliance on single sources, circular energy, utilizing methanation to convert waste into clean city gas, distributed solar, installing panels on road, water, and public facilities for localized power, smart financing, PPAs, securing clean energy for public infrastructure with minimum upfront costs, regional partnerships, collaborating with 17 municipalities for external renewable supply and shared benefits. Living Lab District, Minato Mirai 21 showcases the integrated decentralized energy systems. And final one, holistic governance, empowering citizens, fostering innovation, and strong leadership for adaptive energy. Now, I believe we can move on uh, to the Mentimeter exercise, and I invite Alina to or Ines, one of those. Yeah, Ines has introduced or inserted the link on the chat, and I invite everyone to click on that link and go to the Mentimeter page and also insert your responses and maybe give one minute, and then we will come back and comment on any outcomes. All right, I guess we can stop. I'm hoping everyone has had a chance to insert any of preferred response and maybe didn't even stop with one. We have backup, we have security and independence, ensuring access to energy for more secure, stable livelihoods, adaptability and security, reliable energy, energy mix, flexibility, good infrastructure, quick restoration of power, and many more. Wow, that's great. Fantastic. Maybe Alina, okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah, maybe move on to the next question, which is what actions has your city taken to improve energy resilience? Great. I think this is good. Okay, investing in distributed energy and microgrids, promote energy efficiency, enhancing grid modernization, advantage of self-infrastructure to implement new generation systems, restore water mills, yeah, rehabilitation of buildings, yes, okay, energy independency, increased solar and wind energy production, cogeneration unit for pumping stations and district heating stations. That's very important. Great. Maybe we move on to the third and final question. Okay, what challenges has your city faced in improving energy resilience? That is okay. I see funding from all over. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Political priorities, grid system, regulatory and policy complexity. Okay, resistance to wind and solar installation, admin burden. Yeah, in some cases that is very true. Okay, maybe half a minute more and then we can close this. But let's see if anybody else has any further. Okay, aging infrastructure, technological integration. Yeah, I think aging infrastructure was also addressed in our guide, but funding as well, so many aspects. All right, I guess we can go back to the Q&A session now, to the slides. I mean, we don't have to pull up the slides for right now, but let's see if there are any questions on the chat. And I see Ellie has put one. Ellie, do you want to take the floor and read it, or should I read it for you?
It's fine, Bart, if you read it. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I mean, just go ahead, read it.
Okay. So I was wondering if there is because you mentioned there is the surplus can be sold. So if there is a guarantee that this surplus is bought whenever there is one, and if there are challenges regarding the infrastructure, so how easy is it to sell the surplus of energy, this energy surplus? Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Jefferson, that's your
Okay, we have for our projects that are less than 1 megawatt of capacity, there are less limitations in the permits and in the process that we have, the documentation that we have uh, mm, to have in order to have this title or this permit. And to sell, there are regulations. The regulations in Ecuador are very clear, and we also have some prices that are already set down. And in the case of hydroelectricity or solar systems or or another not conventional energy power systems, we can just take these regulations and apply them. There also has priorities for this kind of not big plants, not big generation systems. I think that the selling process, the profits that we have, we can sell it. It's not very difficult. Just we have to take the patience. And for us, particularly, there's a little bit of an advantage because we already have the permit of use of water, because we already treat the water, so we don't have to has that permit. But I think that other companies must have this permit, and maybe in the environmental permit is the hardest one to have. The environmental impact is the hardest. But with one of this figure, you have only two figures, or you use this energy to self-consumption and to sell the exceeds the remaining energy, or you sell all this energy from your generation. In any case, you have clear regulations for each one. So yes, it's a little bit of documentation and time, but once you have this settled down, you can just sell as all your energy.
Amazing. Thanks. Yeah. I have another question on this is on balancing water supply priority and energy generation that you mentioned. Where you mentioned that the water services prioritize over power generation during the droughts, which makes sense. uh, how does the AppMaps manage the trade-offs and ensure continued energy supply to its operations, like pumping stations, and when hydropower output is intentionally reduced for water security? Do you have any kind of other means of backup, or is it that you reduce just the capacity of the?
Well, yes, our priority, of course, is the water supply, but if we have water flow, we can generate energy in some points. Our goals are to find all these zones with high pressure that we could use to implement these projects. And of course, there are some zones, some facilities of the maps that we cannot. When it becomes an outage, we cannot just operate with these stations. Sadly, as I said, is a really big company, and we have a lot of these stations and plants, and some of them will have to. We have to stop working on this in these situations, but the other ones we will have it working. When we don't have energy in the distribution system, that's the big problem. But in terms of generating energy, that's because we don't have the biggest plants we don't have in the city, in the distribution systems. We have the transmission systems outside the city, in the Quito city. So we can still manage to generate, and we also are taking in mind an opportunity to work as an island, and it means that we don't have to have the energy transmission line, but we can energy this transmission line to give energy to a big demand or a big charge or another zone that we already are connected with. And yes, our focus is to manage to improve the systems in order uh, to have our main demands, our main charges besides or next to the generation plant. In these cases, we can just go out from the distribution system and to self-consume our generation in our demand in the same zone.
Amazing. Thanks again, Jefferson, for providing this really insightful responses, and also for providing your kind of on the ground experiences. I have another question, but I would really love to see any from participants. And while we wait for any others to come in, I would like to ask you on the floating PVs on reservoirs. Uh, Beyond the mentioned benefits to reduce the evaporation and increase efficiency, what are other resilience co-benefits uh, that you anticipate from deploying the floating PV reservoirs? I think those two are the main ones. I mean, helping water, remain in the reservoir, and the other one, cooling down the panels and increasing efficiency. Is there anything else that you kind of didn't mention here, but that is kind of uh, something that you found out as a kind of part of the resilience overall on the energy systems?
Well, in this case, is the floating photovoltaic systems that we don't have a really deep analysis to this system because we have not implemented this yet in any of our facilities. But we know that there's a clear potential in one of water intakes that we have, the largest one that is in La Mica, and of course there is. There's a really not that extreme climate changes in that zones, but it's like very changing climate. And we if we improve the the reservoir I mean if we could take the large area from this and install all of these photovoltaic panels, we could use it potentially we could use it to generate this energy. But yes, it has to have a really deep analysis to become to response or to develop a project with this.
Amazing. There is another one which I think it would be interesting for all the UTM cities present, but also for those who finally have a chance to watch the recording. It's on the community co-management of rural microgrids. It mentions that the community co-management of the rural microgrids, and maybe you could provide some specific examples how this co-management works in practice, if there is any challenges, anything that you would envision as something that, and we know that it's context dependent, so it's not the same problems in every city, but maybe you can share something that you as successful or as a barrier or anything.
Hmm. Okay, some of this is it could be a barrier for us to get an approach with this community, because they will prioritize their terrains and their um, I mean point of commercial. That we don't have the permits to use some of these terrains that the people are taking. But once the challenge here is not confront, but to negotiate with these communities, in order to take an eventual a win-to-win objective that becomes a benefit for the both of us. It means that we can. The challenge also here is to develop a system that we could guarantee that there's not be affection, any deviation or something that could be bad for the people, in order to take that lines of that rivers or that lakes or something like that. But they can cooperate with us with this co-managed rural microgrids, because they in very small scale they could just like manage this little projects as a part of the negotiation, or a part of the uh, self efficiency for them. And this would we don't have already this kind of situations, because we like a borders, but we have managed to work with the communities for this kind of micro projects that we're generating. And of course we have to build trust for this.
Yeah, for sure. I see Marta Morello has commented on the floating solar in Florida. Marta, do you want to take the floor and just because we would love to see some interaction, it's not uh, just reading. So we would be happy if you take the floor and
Hello.
hey, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, this is interesting. I joined a little late and I missed the presentation by Jefferson, so I'll be watching the recording. But there I'm with Miami-Dade County, and I know that in Florida, especially in the Orlando area, but also in South Florida, um, we are exploring floating solar as a means of generating electricity and renewable energy. And I know that I think a study is concluding on the effects. I know that so far it is only deployed in certain reservoirs, and I think especially like wastewater reservoirs, or not reservoirs with like fresh water, um, and I think like very locally, I know of an example by the Miami International Airport. The local utility has deployed like a very small system. From the first results that I know, it didn't seem to be very effective. It didn't generate as much renewable energy as they thought it would. But I know that it's a small system, and there was some issues with data sharing from the utility. And so I would take that with a grain of salt. Um, but yeah, it's a very interesting concept. In Florida, there are like a lot of bodies of water where this could be potentially deployed. So I think we're kind of in a wait and see position at the moment, but it is exciting to monitor.
Fantastic. I'm actually very curious to find out why the production is low. I mean, the capacity or the efficiency is low. Is it the angle? Is it the orientation towards the sun, or is it something that, I mean, cleaning or the units they just don't produce? I don't know, but it's interesting to find out because normally they should be producing
Oh,
Yeah, I think Bart, you have some connection issues. Okay.
oh.
Yeah, I'm texting. Apologies.
Yeah, that's okay. I think while we wait for Bart to come back, I think I can try to do some research as well internally because I wasn't directly involved in the project, and so I'll be happy to find out more and maybe share with the group.
That's amazing. That would be great. Thank you. Okay, so I think we might have lost Bart. But maybe let's see a few more minutes. Well, we covered anyway all the aspects of the meeting. So thanks a lot for being with us. I don't want to keep you too much as we are already 2 minutes over time. So thank you very much. We will follow up with the slides. I took notes of all your questions and I will get back to you on that. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via email. More than happy to take them on. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Have a
Thank you.
nice rest
you,
of the
Alina.
day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alina,
Bye.
could you
Thank-
please share your
Goodbye.
email address? I would like
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
email you, but I was looking in my inbox and I can't find it.
Sure. I'm texting it here. Okay, done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye
You too.
bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jefferson. Thanks a lot.
See you. See you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.